Did Jeda solve our Model 3 and our early 2020 Model Y charging problems? Let's check it out by unboxing it on a next Mix of Tech. Hey guys, welcome to Mix Tech, where I review technology for the consumer prosumer, and I give my take on the things I see. Today, I've got the Jeda wireless charging pad version 4, which I've been waiting about 6 months for, and I'm excited to see what this is going to offer for my Model Y. Now, keep in mind, I know Jeda and other supply chains and other companies are having challenges with delays. This took 6 months to get, but I'm excited to see what it's going to offer. I don't put that against Jeda. Obviously, you need to check into their stats, see what's going on. I think you'll probably be able to get these a lot sooner than I did. But what I am excited about is that they kept me informed on what's in here. And I originally got the V3 and they upgraded me to V4. Instead of kind of being disappointed, I just purchased something that was already out of date. So let's unbox this and see what it's about. All right, so just looking at this for the first time, looks like we've got either micro or USB-C. I'll have to check that out when I get it closer to my car. But I like the front. It's got this Alcantara feel to it, and it's pretty nice. This looks legit, and it actually looks like it's coming from Tesla, so I think this will look really good in the car. And I am super excited to see how this charges my larger iPhones. Now, if you're interested in my earlier video on how I solved my wireless charging problems for my larger iPhones, check it out here. And you'll be able to see more about why I'm actually at this position trying to get a Jeda wireless charger to fix my Model Y charging issues. All right, so it comes with a few, it looks like USB-A to USB-C or micro. It's kind of hard to tell. In the same situation, USB-A. And then I believe we've got, looks like USB-C to micro. We'll have to figure that out. What I like here is we got the spacer, which this should make it a little bit easier to apply in the car, and we'll check it out. So I'm really excited to see what this is going to offer in my Model Y. This is supposed to get 7.5 watts to 15 watts. I expect on most of the Apple devices to probably be around 3.5 to 7. We'll see. But I think you might actually be able to get some decent wattage with an Android phone. So I'm excited to check this out, put this in my car, and show you what it's about. All right, guys. So I've already installed this. It's really simple. You got two micro USB cables. One is going to go to USB-A and the other is going to go to the USB-C here. And I actually have a hub that I use for my USB-A so that I don't take up all the charging ports. So once it's connected, it's really simple to just align the pads. Of course, you want to put everything through here so that you don't have any excess cable. And then you just line up and it gets flat. And the thing that I like about this that's comparable to the OEM is that it actually sits in there pretty well. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still move this up and down if you really try because it's not held in by the clip as the OEM, but you do have a spacer. So the spacer actually adds depth to the nice little landing spot here, as you see. So it comes off like that and you just slide it in and that adds depth to your phone so you can actually easily put your phone in. And then you just do the same thing here and you slide this in from left to right. And that gives you some pretty good security. It actually does allow, like if you really wanted to, you could push it off, but it's pretty straightforward and it feels really good. This actually looks OEM, actually it looks better than the OEM. I would imagine for those that are in the 2021s, this actually kind of looks like what it does on that model. But now I've got it on my 2020 Model Y. So I like that this does charge real easily. It fits in well, and especially that bottom rest, it gives it a little bit more space and you can charge on both sides. Now with the MagSafe, it does connect and you can tell it gets a little bit closer to keep it connected, but it's not like any other MagSafe product that I've had. It feels like it's there, but it's not a strong magnetic hold. But it is nice to kind of keep it stable as you're driving, and you can do this vertically and horizontally. So keep in mind you have two connecting USB cables and each one of those charges one of the sides. So if you just want the USB-C to micro on this side, you could do that. And that's something you have to be mindful of because you're going to need to take a micro USB to USB-C, and you're also going to have some sort of micro USB to USB-A just because of how the alignment is on the Model Y that I have here for the 2020. I know it's different between your model, but just keep in mind This is going to take up 2 USB spots. So after having the Jeda wireless charging V4 pad for a few days, what do I think about it? Well, first off, in charging speeds, it's relative to my tap test wireless charger. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out right there. And it's around 2.5 to 3 watts of power. So that's going to be a slow trickle, which is fairly consistent with some of the other Qi charging products that I have. Now, keep in mind the OEM charger, which I was able to take out of my car and lay it flat enough to get to a coil, I was getting close to 7 watts. So there does seem to be some restriction in comparison. But keep in mind, that means that you can charge 2%, and this depends on the battery, but just use this as an estimate. You can charge 2% at 3 watts and get to that 2% in about 2 to 4 minutes. Whereas if you were to use the 7 watts, it's going to be about 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes. And so you're going to get some speed increase. But to have 3 watts of charging power in your car, if you're just going between stops and you don't need to fully charge your phone, or if you're on a long trip, that's fine. You're not going to need to have much more than that, and you will get decent enough speeds. So let's talk to what I do like about this wireless charging pad. First off, it's the material. The Alcantara just looks good and actually almost looks like the 2021 version of the Model Y and the Model 3 now. I like the look, and it also is just a more premium material than even the OEM that was in my car. It's a more secure fit. It has a spacer, which allows for more depth, and that's good for both vertical and horizontal fittings of your phone. It does have a little bit of MagSafe-like capabilities, in which it does offer a little bit more magnetic support, but it's easy to pull off, so you don't have to worry about it. So ultimately, I'm able to charge my larger iPhone, or my iPhone 12 Pro Max and my iPhone 11 Pro Max easily because of the spacer, the depth, and both the height of the phone. So what's not so great about this wireless charging pad? Well, it requires 2 USB connections. And so you'll need either a USB-C or USB-A to charge each side. If you're looking at the OEM or the tap test wireless charger that I've shown in the past, that only uses 1 USB-C spot. So you're going to need a hub if you don't already have one today. The other thing is on the back, it does offer the flexibility to change the cable, so you can use USB-A or USB-C, and depending upon your setup, that offers some flexibility. But what I don't like is that it uses micro USB for those connections. Now, everyone probably has those around, and it's included in the box, but micro USB isn't my favorite. This is a small thing, but I wish it had a charger indicator. So the only way that you can tell it's charging is by looking at your iPhone, which is fine, but if you're on the road, it's easy to look at an indicator versus having to look at your phone. And the last thing is the delay and cost of this device. Now, I don't put anything on Jeda for this because there are a lot of supply chain issues out there, but it did take me 6 months to get this device. It also costs $99, which is more expensive than other versions or similar like wireless charging pads out there. With all that being said, this is still one of the best wireless charging pads out there. It offers reasonable speeds, looks really good in a premium product, and it's something that I plan to keep around in my car. I hope you liked this video, and if you have, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more great content like this. Thanks for joining A Mix Tech.